that she is not welcome here. Who is ready to picket?
Deportation.
Today we are gathered out here after the state murder of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis. This blatant murder by ICE officials is something that we know that's to be true. That ICE does not keep our communities safe. They only cause more harm and fear. And we are here to say ICE out of New York. From Minneapolis to New York City, we want ICE off of our streets. So please give it up for our first speaker, Gabby from the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
Just hours after ICE shot and killed Renee Nicole Good, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem lied in a press conference and called her lawful, peaceful observation and documentation of ICE domestic terrorism. She called the millions of immigrants in this country, our neighbors, our co-workers, the people we love and care, dangerous criminals. The criminals in this situation are the ICE agents that killed an innocent woman. And we all saw the video evidence. This was a cold-blooded murder. The only people terrorizing our communities right now are the masked, armed agents that have been kidnapping people off the streets, that have been brutalizing people in broad daylight. And let's be clear, they do not care if you are a citizen or not. They have been given impunity to commit violence against our people. So we are going to carry out our responsibility to stand in solidarity with the people of this country, from Minneapolis to New York City to wherever ICE is committing these acts of terror, wherever they try to snatch up our people. We are going to take to the streets. We are going to keep organizing. We are going to keep asserting our First Amendment rights to protest, no matter how much the Trump administration tries to intimidate us. What we are doing is righteous. What we are doing is necessary. And I want to say this. The more that they try to scare us, we have to find the courage in ourselves to keep organizing. And we have to bring more people out. We have to bring more people into our movement. Because this is going to be what it takes to fight back, to make sure that ICE is out of New York and is out of every single place in the United States. It is going to take a movement to win justice for Renee and all the victims of ICE and state violence. It is going to take a movement to free our people from these detention centers. So are you with me?
Yes!
Are you committed to staying in this movement?
Yes!
Are you committed to growing this movement?
Yes!
Are you committed to fighting so that we see an end to ICE terror, that we see an end to mass deportations, and we see a society where people, immigrants and citizens alike, have full rights?
Yes!
Because this moment that we're facing, the Trump administration is coming for all of our rights. There isn't a single person in the working class that hasn't been affected in some way by their policies, by their attacks. And so we have to recognize that and stand in solidarity with each other. We have to recognize this is the moment to fight. This is not the moment for despair. as hard as it may be, and as much as we have every reason to mourn. But let's mourn and let's fight. Let's stay in the streets and let's do what it takes to bring justice to Renee and to all of our people that are under attack, that are facing the impact of ICE terror.
Hey!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
ICE off our streets now!
ICE off our streets now!
We want justice, you say how?
We want justice, you say how?
ICE off our streets now!
ICE off our streets now!
And the last thing I will say is that we have to demand that the people responsible for Renee's death, the agents that killed her and that were accomplices in her death, be prosecuted for murder immediately. Because ICE is not above the law, because the Trump administration is not above the law. And we will ensure that justice is brought to Renee and every single person that has been wronged by this state and by this system. Thank you.
Please welcome David from the New York Immigration Coalition. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When immigrant rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
ICE murdered Renee yesterday.
Shame!
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 Shame, clear as day. In Minneapolis, in New York, across the country, ICE is terrorizing our communities, kidnapping our neighbors, kidnapping children and families and our uncles and fathers. ICE is terrorizing our streets. Shame! I want to talk to you about what's happening in that building behind us, 26 Federal Plaza. Right now, in 26 Federal Plaza, immigrants are showing up for their regular immigration check-ins and being kidnapped and disappeared in our city. Shame! Unlike in criminal court, where you are guaranteed an attorney, people appearing for immigration court have no right or no guarantee to an attorney right now. So that means whether you're young, whether you can't speak English, if you can't afford an attorney, you need to appear in immigration court and represent yourself. And that's what's happening up there. Immigrants, our neighbors, are being forced to represent themselves in complex immigration cases as Trump appoints his own immigration judges to rig the system and tear our families apart here in New York City and New York State. Shame!
Shame!
We need justice in these streets, but we also need laws to hold everyone accountable. We need to pass New York for All and the Access to Representation Act immediately. We need to take this outrage we have and call on Governor Hochul, call on the New York State Legislature to pass the Access to Representation Act to make sure that every single neighbor that is going to face immigration court at 26 Federal Plaza and immigration courts across the state have a guaranteed attorney. And we need to pass New York for All to make sure that ICE gets out of New York once and for all. No justice, no peace. No justice,
No peace!
thank you.
Streets!
Please welcome David from the People's Forum.
No justice, no peace. We want ICE off our streets.
We want ICE off our streets!
Today, a murderer and dangerous criminal is coming to New York, and her name is Kristi Noem.
Shame!
The Homeland Security Secretary has blood on her hands.
Shame!
She has the blood of Renee Nicole Good on her hands.
Shame!
Kristi Noem has the blood of Silverio Rodriguez on her hands.
Shame!
And She has the blood of thousands of immigrants who have been locked up in ICE detention centers and deported on her hands. We called this mobilization because we know that Kristi Noem should not just be able to come to New York without fierce resistance from the people of New York that stand with our immigrant neighbors and friends. We know that DHS and ICE is an agency that does not need to exist.
Yes!
If anything, most of us are older than ICE and DHS have existed.
Yes!
Anytime ICE and the National Guard have been deployed to a city, those cities have not become safer. If anything, they have become more dangerous because of ICE.
Shame!
We are hearing rumors right now that ICE is going to set raids and have more agents in New York City. Are we going to allow that?
No!
Renee, any one of us could be Renee Nicole Good. Any one of us who are out on the streets, that are doing rapid response, that are out in our neighborhoods educating and mobilizing our communities could be Renee. And so we have a solemn duty to make sure that ICE is not able to get away with this. We need to demand justice for Renee. We need to make sure that the murderer of Renee is brought to justice.
Yes!
We need to make sure that ICE does not have the ability to mobilize and come into our cities. We need to demand that ICE be off of our streets.
Hey!
Kristi Noem is going to be having a press conference. Initially, it was planned to be right across the street at Federal Plaza, and that is why we mobilized here. She heard that we were mobilizing, we were bringing hundreds of people out on the streets, and so they were scared, and they moved their press conference to One World Trade Center.
Cowards!
That is the power of our movement. They are scared of us. And so we're going to have a short program here. We're going to march over to One World Trade Center. We're going to have a picket out there and make sure that she has no peace, that she has no moment of silence so that we can make our voices loud and clear.
Please welcome Monica from the Workers' Vanguard.
Okay, we're gathered here together to protest the killing of a woman who stood in the interest of immigrants. But it is in the interest of all labor, all and every single worker to come out and protest. Say it loud and clear. Workers must defend immigrants.
Workers must defend immigrants!
Workers must come out.
Workers must come out!
I'm gonna make a very brief statement just to say a clear point, which is that a lot of the movements against police repression, including Black Lives Matter, including everything that's been going on, have ended in defeat. Why? Because because the left has tied the movement, and we have to break from liberals. So please think about what's going on. Let's have a different strategy. Let's focus on labor, because it's not a moral question for them. It's in their material interest to stand up. White workers, yes, even those who voted for Trump, it's not in their interest that the wages are being driven down, that their brothers and sisters are being gone after. We need a strong movement focused on the working class. So let's go to the working class. Let's try to break with illusions in those leaders that are Democratic Party politicians. I have to say one last thing. No illusions in Zoran Mamdani. This politician who claims to be against the establishment met with Trump, shook hands, hired the police commissioner Tish. Is he on our side? No. Is Zoran Mamdani an obstacle? Yes, he is.
Yes, he is!
So let's be independently organized. Please, every one of you has to play a role in the defense of immigrants, but we must get the power, the social power of working people who can stop things, who can do strikes all over the country. Attacks on immigrants are linked to all of the material interests of working class people. Labor must defend immigrants. Thank you.
One struggle, one fight.
One struggle, one fight.
All unite for immigrant rights.
All unite for immigrant rights.
One struggle, one fight.
One struggle, one fight.
All unite for immigrant rights.
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 Please welcome Jay from Rise and Resist.
Thank you. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the Constitution is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When the Constitution is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When human rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When human rights are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
All right. I'm J.W. Walker from Rise and Resist. I just want to pause to ask you to say her name. Renee Nicole Good.
Renee Nicole.
Renee Nicole Good was murdered by ICE 24 hours ago. And we shame, thank you, and we will not let this regime get away with it. People are marching in the streets all over this country, and we will not stop until we see charges brought against that officer, and we will continue our demand to get ICE off our streets, out of New York, out of Minneapolis, out of every city across this nation. When we look at these ICE thugs, one thing that the media is not talking about that we have to remember is that they are populated in that push to increase the numbers of ICE agents out there across the country. They are populated by Proud Boys,
Shame!
by Oath Keepers,
Shame!
by 3%ers,
Shame!
by neo-Nazis,
Shame!
and by Klansmen.
Shame!
All marching under the orders of Kristi, the she-wolf of Trump's SS.
Shame!
Yesterday, these thugs, these murderers, didn't just shoot Renee 3 times and kill her. They blocked medical care from reaching her not once, but twice. There was a doctor in the area, a trained healthcare professional that was on the scene. They would not let him get to her, and when the ambulance showed up, they made it park a block or 2 away, and then the ICE agents themselves dragged her body over to the ambulance. These people are sociopaths. And now I want us all to remember that when we look at everything that's happening now, when we look at what's happening in Venezuela, when we look at the threats at multiple countries across Latin America, when we look at the threats to Greenland, when we look at the attacks on our education system, when we look at the attacks on our trans communities, we have to remember that these are not separate incidents. This is all connected. If you didn't read Project 2025 before the 2024 election, when folks like me were telling you to, you need to go and read it now, because all of this is in it. This is a plan. Trump may be an imbecile. He may be a buffoon. He may be a ridiculous figure. But the people around him, the people that are dictating his policies, the people like Russell Vought and the Heritage Foundation are not. They know what they are doing. They are trying to reverse a century of civil rights and human rights and international rights gains that the people of the earth have fought for and bled for and died for. And are we going to let them?
No!
Are we going to let them?
No!
We are going to stand and fight with everything that we have every ounce of energy, with every bit of determination that we can muster, because we will not go back. Thank you.
No justice.
No peace.
We want ICE off our streets. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
We want ICE off our streets.
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 Please welcome Travis from Refuse Fascism.
My name is Travis Morales with Refuse Fascism. I'm also one of the RevComs. And why are we out here today? Because Trump's fascist thugs shot Renee Nicole Good in the face. That's why we're here. And we say, ICE Gestapo, we say no.
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 Now's the time for Trump to go.
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 Right after they murdered Renee, DHS, Homeland Security, was tweeting out that she had tried to run over these ICE agents. This was a lie. To quote the mayor of Minneapolis, bullshit. And then, this was all to justify the killing of her. And then Kristi Noem came out and said, oh, she's a domestic terrorist. They've unleashed ICE in attacking the Somalian people in Minneapolis.
Shame!
Demonizing them.
Shame!
And Kristi Noem has the gall to call her a domestic terrorist. No, she was a hero of the people who was standing with immigrants. And let's be clear, who are the real terrorists?
ICE!
Who are the real terrorists?
ICE!
Going around all over this country terrorizing people, tearing families apart, putting people in concentration camps. They are the terrorists.
Shame!
And today, yesterday, this needs to be a turning point. Too many people have been sitting at home hoping and wishing that somebody else was going to stop all these fascist outrages, from the attacks on Venezuela to the ICE raids to the stripping women of their abortion rights. No, it is on us to stop this.
Free Palestine!
The Congress is not going to do it. The Supreme Court is not going to do it. We have to be in the streets in our millions and tens of millions to create such a political crisis, such a political earthquake from below through nonviolent protest to drive this Trump fascist regime from power.
Hey!
And if we want to make this true, Trump out of ICE out of New York, ICE out of Minneapolis, ICE out of everywhere, that is what it's going to take. Flooding the streets of New York, but most importantly, flooding the streets of Washington, D.C. with millions and tens of millions of people in such a massive display of people in nonviolent protest that we create a political earthquake from below that drives out this fascist Trump regime. And I want to close by saying this. Trump's ICE Gestapo commits cold-blooded murder. The whole fascist Trump regime must go now. ICE must go.
ICE must go!
And at 4 o'clock, meet in front of 26 Federal Plaza. We're going to have 1,000 feet of crime scene tape to declare that location where ICE headquarters a crime scene, and say quite clearly the blood of Renee Nicole Good is on their hands and on the hands of Trump. Thank you.
Please welcome Angeliki from the ICE out of New York Coalition.
I'm going to keep it brief because I know we want to march. I have 2 points I want to make. The one is that we need to remember that the reason that people, very brave people like Renee Nicole Good, the reason they were protesting and observing in Minneapolis was because of a ongoing racist crackdown on the black working class, which is why they were attacking Somali immigrants in Minneapolis. So I want us to remember that, and I call shame on that. The second thing I want to say as a member of the I.C.E. Out of New York coalition is that something very important that we need to do is that after these mobilizations, we need to be talking to each other, we need to be getting organized in our communities. The reality of these ICE raids is that they're often unpredictable, and the people who are able to respond to them are the people who are just right there when it happens. And so what do we have to do about that?
Protect our neighbors!
We need to protect our neighbors. We need to actually prepare our neighbors. So I call on everybody to show up to the next I.C.E. Out of New York volunteer meeting. Talk to people around you to plug in. Something that's very important is we need to be in our communities. We need to be talking to people, and we need to be prepared because we don't know when the next ICE raid is going to happen. So I call on everybody to talk to an organizer here, to stay involved. I want us all to remember when they try to criminalize people from Somalia, members of the black working class, members of all the working class, who are the real criminals that are out here? ICE! It's ICE, it's the murderers in the White House who are calling for this to happen. So, yeah. El pueblo unido